Um, Got a little something different. Usually I stream Commander, but today I'm actually going to be streaming Legacy. And the deck that I'm going to be streaming is the second place list from Niagara. It's the Death and Taxes build. So to start us off, we'll go through the list and we will talk through some of the choices and the usages of the cards. So the first thing that we'll start out with is just the main deck. A lot of Death and Taxes lists are pretty um, much the same. There's like a good 54 cards that are roughly locked in with some flex slots. Usually those flex slots are these lands. So some folks play Horizon Canopy in this slot. Others play Mishra's Factory. A new trend that started to pick up has been Ancient Tomb. Those usually tend to have chalices in the sideboard. Um, and usually you could play one or you could play two of those. You cut some planes in order to make room for them. There are 23 land builds, 24 land builds. Um, Lately, most folks have been leaning towards the 24 lands. Um, Now, the other thing um, is the creature base. So the whole point of Death and Taxes is you have to identify what role you have to play in a match, either whether that's aggro or whether that's a control matchup. And you have a variety of tools to get you to that point. You have your taxes pieces like Thalia to tax spells. You have your Sanctum Prelate, allows you to also do similar things against a lot of cantrip decks. You set this to one or two. It really slows them down quite a bit. Um, you have your Stoneforge package here to gather some of your creature control. You have Palace Jeller. This card's pretty sweet. Um, when this guy comes into play, you become the Monarch, and it allows you to exile a creature your opponent controls. There's a couple uses for this. Obviously, the main one is to exile creatures. The neat thing about it is that you could Flicker Wisp this guy. And Flicker Wisp here is 3-drop. When it comes into play, it lets you exile another target permanent and then return it at the beginning of its owner's next end step. So with Palace Jeller, you could flicker this thing, exile multiple creatures, because the creatures actually don't come back until that person becomes the monarch. So this card has a lot of flexibility. The neat thing about it is in control matches, like a Miracles match, a lot of times this card is kept in because they don't have a lot of ways to damage you. So it gives you card advantage against them. And that alone allows you to help pull ahead in those matches. Um, but I kind of jumped ahead here to the fourth slot. But in your one slot, you have Aether Vial. This is part of your key to keeping the tempo up with your deck. It allows you to play this and then start using your tax lands here, which are on the side, um, to lock your opponent down. So you have a place at a Wasteland and a place at a Rashinda Port. Um, you also have in your one drop your Source to Plowshare, which is pretty much the best removal in Legacy. And then you have Mom, or Mother of Ruins, give your creatures protection from the color of your choice. In your two slots, you have Stoneforge Mystic. And your Stoneforge package is Jitte, Sword of Fire and Ice, Batterskull. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to close out games, draw cards, gain life. It's just all around great card. Next you have Thalia. This is your taxation piece. She interacts well with Caracas, allows you to kind of protect her and bounce her in and out should you need to do so. Um, and then next in your 2-drop slots, you have Revoker. Now, the interesting thing about the Niagara list is normally most Death and Taxes lists only play 3, and the third Revoker slot is usually another 3-drop. That could be Brightling, could be another 2-drop, Sierra Avenger. But this one has 4, which increases how good it is against some decks, especially decks with a lot of activated abilities. So that is something different. Um, Now we move on to the three slot. So you have Recruiter of the Guard. This really helped put Death and Taxes back on the map. Being able to tutor up something two or less in toughness is amazing. Allows you to play a lot of bullets in the deck, um, and it hits pretty much every creature. Well, in this list it hits every creature, but in some lists like Wasir and Avenger and Brightling it doesn't. So this card is a awesome tutor. The other powerful card is Flicker Wisp, and you could talk about the way this card interacts for days. Um, you could flicker lands to untap lands. You could flicker your creatures like Stoneforge Mystic to get another trigger when they come back, or Palace Jeller. You could flicker your Revokers or your Prelates to reset them to um, different numbers or to different names of cards. Um, it's just great. So I mean that's on your end. On your opponent's side, you can flicker out lands during their upkeep in order to can basically reduce their land count for the turn. Um, you can flicker out creatures during combat, just a variety of stuff. And it's a 3/1 flyer, so it gives you some beats. And next is Prelate. So the Prelate allows you to choose a number and counter and spells of that converted mana cost cannot be played. So this is great for cantrip decks. It's great against Storm. There's just some decks when you set the number um, to a certain amount, like the decks just can't overcome it, pre-board. So, and the fact that you could tutor it out with Recruiter or Guard is pretty nuts. So, um, and so that's about it for the main deck. There's a couple of tricks that you want to keep in mind. Rashid and Port, if you have multiple of these out, it's good to spread out the activations during your opponent's upkeep and draw step. The reason you're doing so like if you have two, they have two lands out, you want to tap one during their upkeep, wait to their draw step, and then tap another. This avoids tapping. If you tap both down during their upkeep, they can float both of the mana and use those two mana for whatever they need. If you spread it out, they're forced to use that one mana before they go to draw step, and then they're forced to use the other mana during their draw step. So it just kind of staggers it, especially with cards like decks like Miracles, where they have accumulated knowledge. If you spread it out like that, it would prevent them from just going, oh, well, I'll just use that 2 mana already and just cast this AK. Um, and when you spread it out, it just avoids those types of interactions. So cool. So that's the main deck. Let's go through the sideboard. The sideboard is for this list is also a little bit different than the norm. Standard stuff is Cataclysm is pretty standard. So this card is used against control matches, um, any type of match that's either going to go very wide with creatures or some type of artifacts or abilities, or like in a control match, it's usually like land, right? So, the match is going on long, you have 8, 9, 10 land in play. Playing this allows you to send them back to one, and that really hurts them a lot more than it would hurt you. So the other more common thing is usually there's a second copy of Prelate in the sideboard. Bring these in against combo matches or decks with high cantrips. Like these cards are pretty good against like Miracles, and setting it to one to reduce their or you set it to 6. So at 1 it stops swords, at 6 it stops Terminus. So there's that. Now the difference in this list is that this list is running 3 Council's Judgment. A lot of lists only run 2. Council's Judgment is like your catch-all answer to permanents um, and hexproof things or protection from player type things like your True Name Nemesis. So the third copy of this is pretty good if you're expecting a pretty heavy True Name um, area, or maybe even show and tell, because it allows you to hit Emrakul off of show and tells um, during your turn. So this is a good extra addition. Now, what typically was cut here is a lot of times they run a Planeswalker that could either be Gideon or it could be Karn. Karn's a newer thing. Karn is used more for card advantage and has more useful abilities than Gideon. So Gideon usually just make a bunch of tokens or you get an emblem. Rarely do you actually plus him, because he at that point he becomes a target to like swords and other things of that nature that could kill him, like dismember. Um, so with Karn, you gain incremental advantages, and all of his abilities are usable. And you kind of get a token-ish creation off of his last ability. So in this case, they opted not to play either of those, um, which obviously worked out pretty well for him. Next, you have Leona Relic. This is your typical catch-all artifact enchantment removal. Um, you have Rest in Peace. So Rest in Peace is usually a two of. It was played as one here, um, and that was to make room for probably like this path or the extra Council's Judgment. So next is your Ether Sworn, which is another combo stopper piece. And then you have path. So a lot of times there's only one path. This one has two. This could be in answer to like the Arclight Phoenix decks. It's typically not a good matchup for um, Death and Taxes, so having more removal and more ways to get rid of that stuff early for those early plays is good. Creature heavy meta is good. Um, like Delver is really solid because they don't have basic lands for you to get out. So it's a catch-all. Then you have your surgicals. These are pretty standard. Sometimes there's one, sometimes there's two. Pithy Needle, another way, another catch-all. Planeswalkers can cause you problems. Jace, Liliana, The Last Hope, and last is Walking Ballista. This one I had to do quite a bit of research on when I was starting to play this and trying to figure out, the uses of it. Obviously, it's good if there's a lot of 1/1 creatures, Delver, elves, things of that nature running around. I say elves, but you don't want to face elves with Death and Taxes. It's a terrible matchup. But this card is a late game mana sink. It allows you to dump a bunch of mana into it, and during those stalemates, it allows you to break parity. So it's good again in the mirror match. It's good against Delver decks, and for the most part against control too, because you can sink mana and then slowly build it up over time. So um, that's about it for the overview of the deck tech. If you have questions, post them in comments. Um, and I'll do my best to try to answer those. So we're gonna start a league. Give it a shot. Give this deck a run. Hopefully, it does fairly well. Um, Online is obviously a different meta than paper Magic is. Um, so these sideboard choices could work in my favor or could work against me. So we'll see how it goes. So we are gonna play first. This hand's bad. It has Aether Vial, but if this gets countered or blown up, we're not doing much of anything. So we're gonna mulligan this. This hand is not much better, but we'll keep. You have some disruption. You have your Stoneforge Mystic, and then with the new Paris mulligan, we can pitch one of these ports back. So we'll start out. I'm gonna remove this. When I was practicing, I was keeping a stopper on their upkeep because of port. So we're leaving with basic planes. This may or may not give us away of what we're playing. Technically, I guess we could be playing Miracles, but normally they're going to leave with an island. Um, and we'll play the guessing game and see what we're playing against. Well, with that opener, I do not have to worry about um, days. So, now do I play my Stone Forge or do I go for control? So, I think I will go for the control element first, or I'm sorry, the Stone Forge, and go for control second. So, since I don't know much, I see a swamp. I don't know what that is. Could be lots of things. Um, we will get Batter Skull just to apply some pressure, and we'll see if Stoneforge survives, which we're playing Reanimator. This hand was terrible against Reanimator. So, oh, wait. We are playing a weird version of Reanimator. This is infinite combo. So, okay. Well, we may be dead. We'll see. Is we dead? This animate dead? Oh, buddy. That's okay. We're not going to concede, though, because I want to see what he has to kill me. So he's going. So the World Dragon Animate Dead combo works as follows. So World Gorger comes into play, and he exiles all cards in the battlefield. Animate Dead says when it leaves play, put World Gorger into the graveyard. So when it leaves play, the lands come back. They come back untapped. The Animate Dead comes back, retargets the dragon, and then they just keep doing that to go infinite. So what I'm going to do is I'm always going to yield to this and let him do his thing, and we'll see what types of combo he has. And he's back, because he has to beat me. Okay, you're doing it. Ooh, a Stampcaster. So now he's getting an Entomb. Let's see what he gets. Okay. Alrighty, you're doing it. You're doing all the things. Plus, seeing this will allow me to understand what his combo is. He has a stroke of genius. Got it. Alright, so he's going to do this a million gajillion times, make a bunch of mana, then he's going to kill me with stroke of genius. Alright, cool. We'll concede. Alright, so let's go into the sideboarding piece. So we're going to treat this like normal reanimator in our sideboard decisions. So the first thing that we're gonna start looking at is some folks cut Stoneforge Mystic, some cut Moms, and I don't know if there is a right or wrong thing. So what we're gonna do is we'll cut two Stoneforge. This sort of Fire and Ice is gonna do nothing really. Um, what else? So sort of Fire and Ice doesn't really do much. We'll cut a couple Moms because of the same thing, like it's an infinite combo, it's not gonna do much. So, next thing that we're gonna do is we'll bring in these paths. So we for sure want to get rid of whatever they are playing. Since the way that his combo works is um, he's looping the Stone Forge, or not the Stone Forge, I'm sorry, the World Gorger over and over. So the things we're gonna bring in are like your Sanctum Prelate, um, the Leone Relic guy is a little too slow. Doesn't really do nothing. We're bringing the Canonist. We're going to bring in the Surgicals. And we're going to bring in Rest in Peace. Alright, so we have to cut three things. So typically, Moms, Flicker Wisp come out, at least one. The Geller's okay, but it's a little slow, but that's alright. It's We need ways to win. So we have Moms, and we could probably cut these mobs. They're not really going to do much for us. So, we brought in surgicals, and rest in peace, the canonist, the extra prelate. We cut a flicker wisp, and we're trying to stay a little lean. Like I said, some cut all of the stone forge, some cut stone forge and the batter skull, pretty much the entire equipment package. But we need a way to clock them. So I think that this is probably going to be our best bet to have a chance here. All right, so let's give it a whirl and see what we come up with. I will like to play first. Um, we'll keep this. I have Thalia, which is about best I can do here, and then we have Prelate. So Prelate, we're probably gonna set to 1. Well, I don't know. The combo is Animate Dead. We'll probably set it to 2. Okay, he did it. Yeah, so Thalia next turn and make just basically tax the shit out of him. Oh, sweet. And we got a surgical, so we're looking good. Well, can't cast it this turn, but they have to kill Thalia to kind of get their thing going. So, um, that's okay. I'm not sure what they brought in. I mean, they could play Massacre in their sideboard. Um, some do. They could have Toxic Deluge. Not entirely sure. Um, Strix. Yeah, I don't care about that. I got First Strike. I'm not super worried. Um, I am gonna probably set this to 1. Reason being is um, I want to stop their cantripping, and then I'm gonna attack with this guy. So his First Strike. Not too worried about this Death Touch guy. And hopefully I made the right choice. I want to survive and untap so I can have a surgical on board and be happy. I think I'm going to cast Jit. Oh, no, can't cast Jit. I think I'm going to cast Stoneforge so I can cheat my Jit into play and don't have to pay the 1. So I'll go get my Batter Skull and we will start applying pressure. Oh, he's doing something. I'm going to sack Thalia. So the reason being is because this prelate on 1 is pretty strong, and now I can just cast my surgical, which is fine. See what they got going on. Okay, I'll sacrifice Stoneforge. So now I'm going to play Jeller, and we will start gaining card advantage here and get rid of this guy. Yay! I'm gonna do the thing. I'm trying to beat his face in with this guy. Then I'm gonna draw a card at the end of my turn. And I'm the monarch. And hopefully have a pretty good game. Next turn I think I'm gonna put Jit down and equip it and go for beats. If I draw another surgical, I'm definitely gonna hit one of these cards over here just so I can see what's in his hand and his deck. Like before I win, hopefully, I will 100% be targeting something in his yard. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't like this guy. Oh, sweet. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to go find a revoker. I'm going to pay 2. And we're going to attack. No, I'm attacking with this guy too. All right. So, why isn't this allowing me? Oh, never mind. It's because it's at 1. That's fine. I'm like, why isn't this allowing me to do a thing? Sitting here like talking about my plans to use surgical, and come to find out I can't because of the prelate. So that's fine. That's my bad. Now I know in the future, but 1 seems to really be affecting him here. He is really trying to get rid of this guy. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't care about that. We're gonna put it on the jiller. And then we are going to attack with the jiller. Like I said, don't really care if he blocks or not. Does not matter to me. I will kill this thing. Actually, I will not kill Thalia. I will leave Thalia in play and force him to... Oh, or he can block. I'm gonna get my 2 counters here. I'm going to wasteland this. Less resources he has, the better. End of his turn, I'll kill Stoneforge, and then I will attack him to kill him. 6, 7. Okay. And I draw a card. We're being the Monarch. Sweet. Um, Revoker was good. I think we're okay. I think everything we had was fine. We just have to keep in mind that the prelate on one shuts these off, but that's fine because if we have them in hand, he figures out a way to do the prelate. We now have answers that are more reactive than proactive, so we are waiting for him to do something anyway. Um, I feel pretty good about our sideboard, our choices right now. And this guy's taking a while to think here. All right, see what we got. Probably check Twitch to see if you guys are chatting at all. All right, let's see here. Um, Not sure this is enough. It's a little slow. Um, we're gonna keep this because there's like two paths in this thing. So we have multiple early ways um, to disrupt them. So that's a good thing. Oh, I thought I did click this to put back. Or definitely put batter skull back. So this new mulligan rule at times can be pretty busted with some decks, but and helpful with others. Like I don't want to draw my batter skull. I want to fetch it out with Stoneforge Mystic. So that's one thing. Um, so we are going to play Caracas first, and maybe that will deter him from what he gets into his yard. Let's see if an Entomb is coming here. Basic Island and a Brainstorm. Okay. See what he has. So the question I we have right now is: do we spin the wheel and play Thalia, which reduces the cost of their spells, or increases? Sorry. Um, If they entomb and then they animate dead, they need another land drop, which they may have. And then if they have that, they just go infinite. Um, if I wait and I keep open my path and I draw another land, then I might be okay. So I'm gonna gamble more so. I mean, if I just sat here, like for sure they're gonna start pulling ahead, um, and I don't want to do that. So like next turn, I guess now I can kind of like lay back, let Thalia do their thing, and have backup with Path Sword. fine. I like this. Um, I'm gonna name engineered explosives again. I know that's in their deck, so we will go with that. Yeah, we're gonna pass. So if they target this to kill it, I think I'm gonna path it. Um, okay. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get rid of this. That's fine. Draw your card. Did it. It's like a weird combo, or like a pile of shit deck. Ooh, nice. We'll play this. Probably should have used the port. That was my bad. That's okay. Hopefully. I have a sword. I have a path. I have a Caracas. I'll have a Vile online, which would be pretty awesome. Then I can start porting down his island. Oh, here comes an entomb. He's doing stuff. What did he entomb for? Grizzlebrand. Yeah, we're gonna path that. That comes back. That's the other thing this could name. It could name Grizzlebrand, but so I could do that with Flicker Wisp. If he doesn't reanimate it this turn, I can Flicker Wisp into a Grizzlebrand. I would just, I want to draw land, like a white source to have this open. I also have Path for the Grizzlebrand, so I don't actually advance them by gaining them life. Um, we'll see what they're doing, making choices. Oh, maybe nothing. I'm okay with that. Heck is he going to name? Vile? Oh, I forgot he had the Caracas because of Grizzlebrand. That's fine. Yeah, before he does that, we're gonna path him. Okay, draw the cards. Let's see what they discard. Shitload of fetch lands. Animate dead, animate dead. Ponder. True name. Oh, this is like a weird deck. I have no clue what's going on. It's like a reanimator aggro deck. see what I get. It's actually a really good draw. He has one spell to make it work next turn. Let's see what they can do. I have this. This chick like praying to some doves. It's like a sword of doves. See what they got. No. Okay. So, like this guy has like everything in his deck. There's like Nature's Claim, Trophy, True Name, Fatal Push. Like, I'm gonna call this deck Favorite Cards deck. He's just playing all of his favorite cards. Doing everything. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, we have a blue snowland. We have another blue. We have a black. And we have a true name. Okay. And a black. And a green. And an abrupt decay. He doesn't like my vial. I'll play another vial. And we'll stare at each other for a second. So some would say, hey, I could have played Flicker Wisp, but I really think after drawing those 7 cards, he has stuff, right? And I just don't want to lose to random stuff. So I'm holding up swords. And Liliana. Great. So I did not bring in Council's Judgment because I didn't know what pile of crap this guy was playing. Um, Now I do. Just no, it's not 4-color Leovold. Oh, yeah. Why not? It has Dell creatures. This thing gets everything, man. It's like yeah. It's up here. Yeah. So I think what we got to do is this. We gotta get Vile to 3. Okay. Once Vile's at 3, I pop in Flicker Wish and hopefully kill him. We will see. Um, we will get Batter Skull. And we will pass the turn. I have swords. I think I'm probably just going to use it on this Tombstalker. Um, I mean, yeah, attack. I'm not going to block. Let's see what he's doing. Oh wow, that is an interesting choice. We're gonna get this Batter Skull in play, hopefully. Heck is happening now? Oh, nursery name. I was like, I don't even know what's going on right now because this guy's just kind of doing his thing. So it has true names and Tombstalkers and looks like Bug, but it has a combo. So we're gonna get rid of this flyer thing because I don't want to keep dealing with this. Ensure that takes me out of the 3 mana or the one shot with Flicker Wisp, but um, unfortunately, that needs to happen. Plus, I have Thalia too now, so I can do Thalia, and he might just set back on these true names. He may attack. I'm not entirely sure, but we can Thalia at the end of his turn, get some extra pressure, and do what we can. So he's gonna Thought Seize. He'll take the Flicker Wisp. I mean, not much we can do about that. But he's lowering his life for us, which is a good thing. Yep, kill that. I'm still gonna put the Violet 3. I have a lot more threats there than I do any other level. So that was weird. That chose to attack. I'm definitely attacking this turn. Um, no, I'm attacking you. We're gonna squeeze in as much damage as we can. Stop hearing on the draw. Okay. I'm not gonna play port. I want him to think that I got a thing. Uh, I am not long for this world right now. Abrupt decay. Well, I'll just return it. See, like that extra rest in peace right now would have been amazing. Not that I've like drawn any particular thing, but like just knowing I had an additional one in my sideboard um, would have been great. Um, Not just for snap, but just landing that means I don't have to hold up mana. I don't have to play that guessing game as much. And not knowing they had true names and Leovold's kind of threw me off here. But double attack. Too much there. Think that Lily's going to plus here. I think I see it enough. I think I'm done here. Potentially sideboard it. Wrong. High's dead. Alright, we'll go to the next one. I have to like Google this thing and like see what kind of weird bug animate dead decks are out there. We will keep this. So we got a nice curve. We have a Mom, a Thalia, Revoker. So we have almost as good of a hand as we can get um, to attempt to win a game here. So let's see. Alright. Oh, I gotta remove these stoppers. We might be playing Burn. So we'll see. Definitely looking like Burn. This matchup is kind of tricky. So, I mean, most people think, oh, you just slam this batter skull down and you win. You can, um, most certainly. But what tends to happen is it's a very close game. Just because, unlike Burn in other formats, this deck can do a ton of damage with Price of Progress and things of that nature. So, you want to play out your basics and um, do your best from there. So it actually works out well that I have all basics in hand. I didn't get wastelands or ports because I can almost cast everything. Revoker sucks in this matchup. Doesn't do anything. Stoneforge is good. Where is he going? No, he's going to Thalia. That's fine. Every piece of removal that's at my creature is one that's not at me, and I'll take that. So next turn we are going to play Stoneforge, and we will force his hand. We actually get to see these, right? Swiss sphere, creatures. Yeah, I don't care about creatures. Here, about him trying to stop my Stoneforge. Get my Batter Skull. Let's see if he has an answer for Stoneforge. If he does, I will Palace. No, I will not Palace Jailer because he has two haste creatures over here he can cast. So, okay, Goblin Guide's fine. I think he's just gonna cast these things off the side here, or he's gonna come in, attack. Yeah, I'm not blocking any of those. Not blocking any of those. I'll light up the stage. That's fine. Dude, just like killing the shit out of himself. Oh, he has a skewer, which he will probably aim here. Yeah, that's fine. Decisions. He has Rift Bolt, which he can cast. Um, so what I'm deciding is I think I'm gonna Jeller and get rid of Goblin Guide because he has to do combat damage to me. It's gonna save me damage. And when he casts his Rift Bolt, if he does, targeting Palace Jeller to try to gain back this, he's going to take 2 while he does that. And the Goblin Guide will not be able to attack that turn, so it's fine. If I draw an extra land, I could just hard cast Batter Skull. So, like that. And we'll hopefully see what we can do. This deck runs Fire Blast though, so can never be like, oh yeah, I'm safe because they're tapped out. Because then they would just sack 2 mountains and deal 4 damage to you. Or they cast that guy. Just fine. They took 2. I mean, I'm gonna block the Eidolon if he attacks. Um, they can also chain lightning me. That's fine. Are they? Is it at me or is it at that guy? Okay, that's fine. So he'll get the Monarch, which is okay because hopefully I'll get some life gain here. That's fine. He's gonna draw a card end of his turn, and I'm going to cast Batter Skull, not take any. I may die here. So like, the Jailer definitely comes out in this matchup. There's not a ton to sideboard against here. Prelate comes in because you need to stop their spells. A lot of them are at 1 cost. Light up the stage is at 3, so okay. Oh, all right. So I have a sword, so I'm gonna attack. That's gonna be what I do. This thing has vigilance, so it's whatever. They have to block. Yeah, that's fine. The Eidolon, getting rid of the Eidolon is great here. I will take that. That will be how my blockers are assigned. And then I will cast this. I'm going to get me a Give me a Thalia. I was gonna get a Stone Forge, but I want to tax their mana, and I can Flicker Wisp this guy next turn and still get my Stone Forge. That's fine. Let's see, bolting. Something. Me. Okay. Them having the Monarch is pretty bad right now. Plus, I can equip this to one of these guys and hopefully do some damage. Actually, what I think I'll do is I'll Flicker Wisp this guy away and attack. Just gonna take it. I'm gonna hit him with the Monarch for the Monarch next turn. Yeah, that's fine. I need to get that back. See if he even lets me do it. Cool. Flicker my Batter Skull. Get the Germ token back. It's on cast. Oh, I was gonna say this is on cast. It should just happen. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die. Uh-oh. Oh. You just kill it. He just killed me. Oh, he's gonna kill us both. That's fine. I'll take a draw. I bring in Prelate. I bring in the Leonin guy. Revoker's bad. You bring in Ether Sworn. Remove these and bring in Council's Judgment. Just to hit any of their wonky stuff they bring in. The Ether Sworn is mainly there just to be a guy, slow him down. I mean, they're going to target him so they can cast more than one spell. That's okay. Um, it's still better than Revoker. That's pretty bad. So we will go with this for now. And Council's Judgment, Flicker Wisp, Prelate. This is slow. I think I'm going to bring in another Council's Judgment over the sword. I'll call it good. I will play first. I will keep. I have Jit and Leonin and Swords. and two basics. So, yeah, so I'm okay with this. So, curve into Leonin, sword for any turn one shenanigans. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Next turn, I'm gonna play Jit. My game plan is to make everything that Jit touches deadly. Yep, so I'm gonna play Jit. Force him to have an answer. Okay, Rift Bolt's fine. We're gonna play Flicker Wisp. Force them to force them to start using removal on my guys. They can send it at me, that's fine. Um, but they're going to have to deal with this. I also have swords, can sword my own guy, gain 3 life back, so. Okay. What do we have in exile? Skewer? Fine. Guess he doesn't want to use Skewer this turn. Hmm. Again, force into action. Now, if he doesn't want to, I will attack with this guy. That's fine. Okay. We're gonna play Mom. There's 3 cards, a Skewer out here. Could be cast for full cost. Played his Mountain. Is he playing Flame Wrath? Skewer? Yeah, so I'm gonna have to Swords my own guy. Not looking good unless he Fire Blasts me here. I'm dead. Mm, let's I think it was fine. I think that that played out the best that it could. Um, I think I need to mulligan. And I keep this. And I toss Wasteland back because it's bad. I have a Thalia. Okay. See what we can do. Thalia. And I think I'm going to set this at 3 because of that. What I just saw. gonna cast this out. Reason I'm leading with this is because I assume the Rift Bolt's gonna hit. The other thing is if the Rift Bolt does not hit that, that's it. They can't play any more spells that turn. My thought is they're probably gonna hit it, which is fine. The point of the burn deck, like the burn doesn't have any way to refill their hand. I mean, they're using light up this stage, but everything that they play. We can try to negate that. Yay, counter spell. It's not really a counter spell, but like it stopped them from playing it and any other 3-drop they may have. So in follow up is going to be Thalia and Aetherfile. We will continue to tax their stuff. Yeah, that's fine. First is here. Then I'm going to Thalia. We got Caracas up to protect Thalia. And we will start our beats. Must have a lot of 3-drops on his hand. I bet when he flame rift me, he thought that he would be able to cast a skewer card um, for the 1. He's going towards Thalia. I will return this. And I'll cast Thalia again next turn. I'm not sure why he didn't go here. Maybe Thalia was causing him a bit more problems than he thought. Okay, don't care about that. Put a counter on this guy. Yes, I would. More planes. I like drawing planes. This makes me happy. And I will attack again. To face. Put a counter on this. Alright, so I can get a prelate, or I can get Stoneforge, which I think I'm going to get Stoneforge. I'm just going to put it into play. And I'm going to get Batter Skull and force the play here. Plus I have Flicker Whiz to Flicker Whiz Recruiter of the Guard if I need to. Alright, let's go. So I think next turn I'm going to set the Vial to 3, Flicker Wisp in on the Recruiter, and then play my Prelate. Well, unless this guy doesn't attack. Yeah, I was going to say he's probably going to block. That's fine. So, let's take that line of play that I said. Flicker the Recruiter. Don't need to attack this turn. If I set it at 2, he can't smash or smithereens me. Let's do that. Yeah. See, his plan was to smash to smithereens me when I tried to put in my Batter Skull, which would have sucked. But we weren't having that. So deck stays the same. We'll run it back again. I'm on the draw with 2 Stone Forges. I'll keep. I can go Vial, Stone Forge. Do that. Yeah, so like if I get Batter Skull going, the game ends quickly. So like I'm gonna go Stone Forge into Batter Skull. Um, this Rift Bolt's gonna target my Stone Forge, of course, but I have another one, so I can get my Jit. So it's basically like cantripping into the things I need. Put a counter on it. I think I'm gonna force the action on Stoneforge. Knowing that I have two, Thalia's seem to be pain in the butt to him. So we will save Thalia. So we'll cast our next turn off the Wasteland and the Plains, and then leave Caracas open again to make it annoying, and have two here, which we can trigger another Stoneforge, and be looking semi-okay. If he goes to face, I'm a little bit concerned, but I don't know. Yeah, I figured that's where he was going. Like I said, every spell that we have that doesn't go face is good because this deck has no real effective way to draw cards. Um, Risk factor is actually great in this deck, and I haven't seen any of those, so I think we're okay. Oh, this is even better. I don't have to play the Wasteland. We're not going to play the Prelate yet. I'm going to play the Prelate off of actual land next turn to have Flicker Wisp up. So like into this turn, I'm going to Stoneforge. Um, then I'll play the Prelate. Good. Being that he hasn't cast anything makes me his hand's probably full of 3-drops, so the Prelate on 3 is going to be pretty nice. Um, and being that he's targeting the Stoneforge means that he does not have an answer um, to the Batterskull yet. Okay. Yes. Um, I love drawing all the basic lands. So that is a benefit of this list. It's not playing the extra flex lands, so we have more basics. Um, we are going to set this to 3, and that has been working out fairly well so far. And then we're going to attack them. Some beats. So I can hardcast Batterskull next turn. Um, well, no, I can't because it's Thalia, but I can hardcast Jit and equip. So that is a good thing. We're not going to put any more counters on this. I am, however, going to play my other one off this Wasteland. Oh no, I got to play 2. Fuck. Uh, Screw that. Pay Jit. And I'm just going to attack. We'll equip Jit next turn. What? Oh, I'm so messed up. I clicked too fast. I should have attacked. That's my... Hopefully I don't die because of that. It's pretty ridiculous. So I'm going to stop playing base lands if they're non-basics at this point, because I don't want to, if he is playing Price of Progress or she, I don't want to give them an extra 4 damage spell for 2 mana. See what he got. 2 shattering spree. Target here. I want to flicker out the Jit because that was what they're targeting. And the Jitte will win me the game. At this point, the Vial I don't really care about. And I just removed their ability to cast something because they only have 1 spell, or 1 mana. So, I mean, I guess they could Fire Blast something, but that's not going to matter. Cool. So, put this here. We spread it out, so if they do have a removal spell... Oh! I did it again. What the fudge? Whatever. I'm just, like, giving this game away right now. This guy should be dead. We'll get trolled on this. I'm attacking this time, guys. Like, no BS. This is, like, ridiculous. I missed so much damage there. And then we'll spread the love again with the Jit next turn. So, we have an extra Thalia. Not too worried about that. If he has a removal spell for this, can't do much about that. Um, my thought is he probably has Light Up the Sage, Skewer, Rift Bolt. A couple of those cards stuck in his hand right now because of this prelate. And he's been having to save his removal for like things like the Jit gaining life. Where's the chain lightning gone? Chain lightning to me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread the Jit over to the Thalia next turn to force this weird play of not being able to target this. Like, I don't care about the Eidolon. Actually, now I'm not going to attack with the Prelate. That's fine. I'm 100% going to um, attach the Jit still, though, to Thalia. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Now I'm leaving the Wasteland open now because if he does have Price of Progress, I can target my own Caracas and um, not take any damage. So we'll do this. And I want to gain life. So I'm going to gain 4. That's fine. put in the Stone Forge, and then we're gonna equip the Jit to the Stone Forge Mystic. Actually, no, we're going to equip the Jit to this guy. No. There. Alright. Prelates protected. This game, I think, is probably won. But, I don't know. I've been playing that first round. I played some weird. Oh, there we go. Played some weird legacy. So, that happens. Let's run another. 1-1. Alright, here we go. This hand is turds. This hand is better. We put the port back. I want to lead on Vial. Um, the Vial's so important. Like, you have to lead this out. I had the one drop Mom. You lead the Vial, and then next turn you can go like Revoker or Stoneforge or whatever the case is. Or do nothing, have the port, and then tap down their thing. It depends on what they open up with. Alright, so we have a force on us. It's fine. What did he exile? Brainstorm. So next turn I will force more action by playing Stoneforge. Actually, we're gonna play the mom. I don't know if he has days, because I'm not entirely sure. You can't really tell much from a force of will, other than it's either tempo or control. But we'll play mom. Either way, it's good. Control, will protect my guys. Tempo will do a similar thing because I want to remove it. So we just don't want the Stoneforge to particularly get countered, um, because it's going to net us a nice advantage. Means he has a brainstorm because he waited to fetch and he wanted to brainstorm and pack away his lands. Oh, or not. This bug control. These chats are like empty. A lot of times you'll have people post like "good luck, have fun," and all the ones tonight have been just like blank. So this guy's having a really tough decision here with this polluted delta, I guess. Gee, this guy's like super slow. Should I just tell him what I'm playing just in case he's still guessing? Be like, hey, I'm playing Death and Taxes, by the way, so basics. Abrupt decay. Bye, Mom. No. Fine. Play this guy. Let's see. Get Batter Skull. And now play this guy. Since I don't have to worry about days anymore. Alrighty. Let's see what's up. Sweet. Got a bunch of viewers. Blue source. Ponder. Like shrink this box down. There it is. This box all like big for like like 3 words here. It's like guys just like killed everything. I'm gonna switch to control mode now, and we are gonna tap down his stuff during his turn. All right. So at the beginning in the deck tech, the thing that you want to do in this situation is you tap down the lands during different phases to prevent them from using mana. So like an example would be if I target like the forest or a swamp here. If I tap them both at the same time, they could use the mana and just cast like an abrupt decay or something here. If I tap them individually, I force them to either make that decision now, which means I can tap a third land that they have. So like in this case, right, he used the brainstorm off of the blue mana. Um, and then the next one I'm probably going to target is the swamp with my port during their draw step. Right. And limited their mana sources for this turn. So I'm going to keep doing that until I have to not to do, anymore. Next turn though, I'm probably going to target his swamp um, to force that action. So I'll tap this down. And then during your draw step, we're going to tap down your island. So I don't know exactly what he's playing. It could be like one of those weird pile decks like I faced earlier. But we will name on the last hope. And go to my turn again. So like I said, I'm going to continue like just tapping down his lands at this point. I think he brainstorm locked himself. So, I mean, that may be the last turn, but if he doesn't draw a land next turn, we'll just keep doing that. Or, if he draws a non-basic land, I will use my wasteland. Um, yeah, I'm just going to keep tapping down his stuff. We'll attack with this guy. During your upkeep, tap this swamp. Okay. And during your draw step, we will tap this island. You can work with that shitty force for the next few turns. Uh-oh. What? That's not cool. I'm gonna swords that though. Definitely not letting that thing hang out. No. Uh, yeah, I'm still gonna swords that. Then I'm gonna Thalia. Next turn I'm gonna yet again target his swamp. And force. Yeah. Force action. So you can have a blue this turn. That's fine, because he'll have to pay 2 mana anyway. Oh, walking ballista. Nice. I wonder what he's gonna target, if anything. No. We have a swords. Um, yeah, we'll do it again. Force him to make his choice now. I figured it was Thalia. That's fine. I just didn't want him to like be able to block and then ping Thalia at that point. And we're gonna continue to port his swamp during his upkeep. Gonna tap your swamp. see what he gets. Like a 3 cost. I would like Recruiter of the Guard or something I could actually like go tutor, Flicker Wisp. Like this like 2 damage is like it's getting there, but I'd like to kind of close this out a little bit faster. Like I could play the Batter Skull. I think I'm gaining a lot of value just from locking down his lands right now. Yeah, so like, oh shit. I know what he's playing now. I've been locking down his damn lands and killing everything. Um, yeah, we're gonna tap his islands next because he probably is playing Sphinx, which he probably has in his hand, and we're gonna make sure he can't cast that thing. Food chain, jeez. This last hope is like way off. Well, now I know. I don't think they play last hope. Play like weird stuff like Hydroid Crisis. Oh look at our report. Woohoo! I gotta tap all their stuff down. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna keep beating him down with this Phyrexian Revoker until he gives up. Alright, so we are going to tap down this. Pay that. Okay, he didn't float. We're gonna tap down a forest now that I know what he's playing. And we're gonna go to his draw step. And we're gonna tap down his other island. And I'm gonna continue to beat his face in with this 2/1 Revoker, naming a card that's irrelevant in his deck. Okay, yep. Did this thing. Nope. There we go. Cool. Time to attack again. During your upkeep, we're gonna tap down a blue. And we're gonna tap down his other blue now because he didn't actually float the mana off of the one. I don't think it matters, but during his draw step, we'll also tap down this forest. It's like probably the most boring thing to watch. You're like, tap down these 3 lands each turn. It's like a slow death to him. I'm gonna totally cast this mom. Speed up my clock. Make sure I got lethal on the board now, boys. We got this. Alright. Get in there, little guy. Okay. During his upkeep, we're going to tap this down. We're going to tap this down. We're going to go to his draw step. Same thing. I sat with this batter skull in my hand the entire game, beating him to death with this revoker. I'm gonna totally kill him with this mom. What? Look at all this stuff. I can do everything now. Kill him now. So this is actually a match where these 4 revokers will come in handy as opposed to the 3 because I will definitely do this. All right. So we will bring in. All right. This Leonin right here. This guy. We're bringing in Leonin. We're gonna bring in the prelate because we're gonna set that thing to 3. The sword on fire and ice does not matter. Um, this batter skull does not matter. The reason batter skull does not matter is they're not gonna ping me away like little by little. They're gonna kill me with a combo. Um, Either sword canis matters. Probably some council's judgments matter. Um, I don't think Jit matters either. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim some of the Stoneforge package because we're not gonna win by getting out equipment and going that route. So those are gone. Uh, Need to cut one more card. We have all 3 judgments: the recruiter, the jailers, the flicker wisp, Leonins, sworn. Probably mom. We're not like the protection matters, but it's not gonna win us the game. Or maybe a flicker. You know what? Maybe a flicker wisp. This will protect our key creatures from all their abrupt decays and stuff like that. So maybe one flicker wisp will work, or a jailer. We're gonna go with jailer, because the flicker wisp may be useful. I'll keep this. I have 2 revokers, a mom, a council's judgment, a prelate, so this is naming food chain, this is naming food chain, this is naming 3, like everything is naming that card so that it can. This council's judgment is going to target food chain. Like once you take that card out of the deck, it's just a bunch of bad creatures that they play that don't really have a lot of synergy with each other. So I gotta remove all these ports. All right. I'm not entirely sure what they bring in um, out of their sideboard. Like I seen that at some of the GPs and SCGs, they were playing food chain. I'm just not sure what their sideboard looks like. I'm assuming it's probably some more creatures and some removal. I don't know if they have like engineered explosives or anything like that. So I like the fact they fetched a non-basic here. He does not like my mother runs. So I can wasteland that. I'm actually pretty happy about that. We'll just force him to keep naming food chain. Yeah, we're gonna name that. We'll see what happens here. That porting of their lands like took so much time off my clock, But I mean, I got there, so that's cool. I'm gonna play this other Revoker, and it is totally oh sweet. And we got a mom. I'm gonna play Prelate, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna name three, but we're really gonna name two to protect my Revoker. Because we're gonna play another Revoker and a mom and try to lock this thing down. If this Revoker is coming down, it's naming food chain. Or actually, this Revoker is coming down, and maybe I name Walking Ballista. That's one of their kill cons in the deck. I know that for sure. A lot of non-basics here. Jeez. Um, we'll play this first. Then I will attack. Then we're gonna play this. Reduce what they can do. Toxic Deluge. Yeah, that's fine. Because I'm gonna play this other Revoker. I'm gonna name Food Chain again. So maybe that last turn I overcommitted. I don't know if I needed the Ether Sworn. I probably could have just kept with the attacks that I was doing and would have been okay. Um, so that was my bad. I think I'm still okay right now. I'm hoping he lays out a food chain so I can just get rid of it. But we'll play Thalia next turn. With the crack is up, so we can bounce it back and forth, make it really annoying for them. Now we're gonna source this. That's fine. All right. I'll wasteland this. And then I'm gonna Thalia. How about draw on our wasteland? That'd be amazing. I don't care about that. Play my land. Then we'll just pass. Because there's nothing I can really do. I don't want to play a food chain right now. That would suck. But she's probably gonna do. Oh, hey, food chain. Awesome. So he has four. He could play the Sphinx if he has it, and I may be dead. Because because this gives food chain gives him one additional mana. So there's that. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is he gonna food chain now? Yep. The hell is he getting for 2 mana? It's probably like Living Wish or something. No, not ignore. I want to actually see what's going on. Oh, manipulate fate. Yeah, there's also that. So you can cast like a million griffins. He may have Force of Will for this. I'm gonna vote for this guy. And then I'm going to attack. This is my game plan. So manipulate fate allows him to look through his deck, find three cards, up to 3 cards, and exile them, which will all be Miss Hollow Griffin. Um, unless he has another food chain, he won't be able to do both this turn. Oh, it's a Strix. Don't care about that. Don't care about the Strix. I would love to get like another Revoker, so I can name food chain again, or planes, I guess. Totally. Look at this tech. We have 2 mana open on his turn. It's gonna be so awesome. Is this an other permanent? Okay. Yeah, I was like, otherwise you could just keep flickering itself in and out. I think the other bad thing about the manipulate fate is like when it exiles the griffins, now they could just cast them, and they are a little annoying. 4/3s, I think, flying, which is controlled. It's not working very good here. Ugh, that's fine. They 4/3s? Oh, they're 3/3s. Blow up this thing. Looking now, totally should have left Sword of Fire and Ice in here. Little Belful Strixes are a pain in the ass. With a small store. Yeah, because like the mom, like they're targeting to remove, but Stoneforge would have been nice to get like Sword of Fire and Ice or a Jit to kill these things. Jit's probably more useful. Oh, they're casting a Griffin. Wait, nope. What are they casting? Is it Krasis? Yeah. So I'm gonna save myself time. I'm gonna go to the next game because it's gonna be kind of drawn out. All right. Aethersworn's fine. Leonan's fine. The Judgment is needed. I think I was right. The Flicker Wisp is cutting a Flicker Wisp is probably good. Jit. I want at least 2 Stone Forges so I can find these. Probably cut another Flicker Wisp here. And a The swords are not the greatest, but I do want them to remove some threats. So we have Stoneforge, Thalias, Jit, and Flicker Wisp, and this guy's pretty alright. Alright, let's roll. I would like to play first. Ooh, I'm gonna totally keep this. I got Jitte, I got Aether Vial, look at all this cool stuff I got. Cast this thing. Well, sucks I had both of these in my opening hand, considering I only have one equipment. But there's a possibility that this may die. I hope he gets a non-basic so I can blow it up. Oh, I could wish. Just pondering away. See what he's doing here. Okay, so you like the cards on top of his library. Okay, put this up here. Put a counter there. I think I'm good on the food chain right now. The picnic needle's nice to draw. Gonna get Jit. So I can kill all those pesky little Belfer Strixes. Yeah, next turn I Needle. I play Jit and I Needle. Naming food chain. So, um, and I also stick to my plan. Like prelate on 3. Would have saved the Toxic Deluge, but this that's my game plan. Anything and everything that I can name or aim at food chain is what I'm going to do. And actually, I gotta start playing fairly quick here anyway, because this guy's my time's pretty low. I have no clue what's going on right now. And he's pondering. Let's see what he's got. And birds. Okay. Same plan. Oh, food chain. Okay, there's that. Um, here's this. I'm gonna attack him. He's kind of holding back this wasteland until he starts playing something. We are going to reduce the amount of things that this guy can do. Make his life a living hell. Fetch a non-basic, so I can use this wasteland. We get a non-basic, use the wasteland, equip the jit, kill this bird. Like this art's pretty cool. I like the Ravnica one. Like the Ravnica art's pretty sweet. Um, this one looks really sweet foil though. Like the foil versions of this is amazing. Where is the abrupt decay? Oh, he doesn't like me using my Aether Vial. Yeah, I don't care about that. I'm gonna equip this guy with a jit, and I'm gonna attack right into these guys. Yes. Um, he's not blocking? Oh, I was to lose my mind. I'm gonna re-equip this. I'm gonna try not to overextend like last time. This kind of saves me from Deluge. He has to actually pay quite a bit of life. I mean, 4 to kill this guy. I mean, he can abrupt decay him and things of that nature, but I don't have to re-equip this guy next turn. Well, good news is this guy's time's ticking down too. I've been speeding up, playing fairly quick. I don't know if this guy's chatting. Let's see. Oh, of course not. Alright, so we're going to do this. We're gonna name food chain again. And then we're going to equip here. most part, we're just going to keep passing. Um, I will pump this guy to 4 next turn. Um, puts him at 9, 8. So it doesn't change the clock too much, but it'll make it a little tougher on him. He may be out of basics at this point. No matter what he hits here, I'm going to, if it's a non-basic, I will kill it. Recruiter of the Guard would be a good draw. Allow me to get another Aethersworn. Um, or a Prelate. I don't know how many Toxic Deluge this guy's runs, so. Killing my Jitte. Well, I'm gonna gain 2 life, I guess. Makes me sad. Jeez. Like flood on land now. I'll hold this land though. No, he has another island. He had it the first game. Yeah, so this, I just remembered that. So, good for him. What's he playing? Miss Hollow. Miss Hollow Griffin. No, Ballista. For 2. That's fine. Go all in here. Like he could put a counter on it and then ping my Thalia, but then he can't kill Stoneforge that turn. So if he wants to spend all of his mana like putting counters on the Ballista, that's fine. Now we'll force him to make his decision. He hits me for 1. Maybe he wants to gain 1. I'm not sure. Yeah, honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I should have had the Sword of Fire and Ice in here too. It was just another way to close out the game. Great. Scourge. Oh, all Miss Hollows. Okay. Get rid of that. I think I'm gonna run out of time before anything. Oh, so bad. So bad. Cast a Miss Hollow. Spell strikes. This damn card. Hate this card. So- oh, hey Food Chain. I'm an idiot. Oh boy. Pithing Needle sucks. It's not like Revoker. Well, good games. It's like the living in thing. It's like siding in Grafdigger's Cage against living in and thinking you're gonna avoid losing. So, oh, okay. Good job. Well, I think that's gonna be it for the night. You can't really prize out from here. Um, Not very well anyway. But some interesting decks, some food chain, whatever that first thing was. Um, and kind of grinded it out here with burn, which was the closest thing I got to a real deck, but it also probably depends on the time of night I'm playing. But all right, thanks everyone for joining in, and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.